this tutorial, we're going to build our very own action for Google Assistant, taking advantage of Google's powerful analytics and natural language processing capabilities. Google Assistant is everyone's virtual personal assistant, engaging users in conversations to get things done. It's currently available on more than 500 million devices, and that will quickly grow to billions as it's rolled out to more phones, automobiles, and smart speakers at home. You need to have certain permissions enabled. In myaccount.google.com/activity-controls, make sure to enable web and app activity, device information, and voice and audio activity. You can find the link to this and other pages in the description for this video. There are just two consoles we'll be working in, Actions on Google and DialogFlow. We'll begin setting some things up without any coding and wrap up the tutorial with some simple JavaScript. Are you ready to follow along and build? In the Actions on Google console, click on Add Import Project. Let's name our project Action Intro and click Create Project. This may take a moment. Now, if you see a list of categories for your action, click Skip on the upper right. Under Build on the left, click Actions. Click Add your first action. Now we see here a couple of interesting intents and templates such as trivia, personality quizzes, and flashcards we can create. For this exercise, we will use custom intent and click Build. Now in DialogFlow, we're going to create a DialogFlow agent. The first time you run DialogFlow, you will need to give it permission to access your Google account and Drive and accept the terms of service. We'll name the agent Action Intro, select English as our main language, and select my time zone. The action links to our project. Click Create. After a moment, we'll be on the intents page. Let's start with the welcome intent. There are a few things to notice here. We will write training phrases for the next intent, but for the welcome intent, this part can be left blank. Let's look at the welcome responses. Hi, hello, good day. We'll delete the default responses and instead type a new response. Welcome. What country do you live in? Now click Save. To test our action, we'll click on Integrations. Ignore for now Facebook Messenger, Slack, and other integrations. Under Google Assistant, click Integration Settings. When the app is called, our welcome intent will first be triggered. We'll enable auto preview changes so that our changes will update in the simulator automatically from now on. Click Test. It takes us back to the Actions on Google page. You can see different surfaces. The smart speaker will not have a display, but phones will, and that can be quite useful. Test your actions by typing or saying "Talk to my test app" below or on any device you're logged into with this Google account.
Alright, getting the test version of my test app.
Welcome. What country do you live in?
And we see our welcome intent triggered. Right now, if I answer the question, our action will not know what to do and we'll get an error. India.
I didn't get that. Can you say it again?
I live in China.
Say that again?
Now we need to program a new intent. Back in the DialogFlow console, we'll close the integration settings page, and on the left, click on Intents and create intent. Let's name this intent Resident Country and click Save. Remember that the name is case sensitive. First, we'll add some training phrases. This will help Google Assistant recognize different ways a user will reply to our question. The app initially says, Welcome. What country do you live in? We can answer, I live in South Korea. Notice that Google defines the parameter for us, in this case. This works with countries, languages, colors, and other entities. Let's do another. My home is in India. I reside in Maldives. I rent a villa in Austria. I work in South Africa. United States. This time, countries were highlighted automatically, but that may not be the case when you try. You can make sure the parameter is recognized by highlighting specific country names and choosing the entity Google has predefined for us. Under Action and Parameters, click Manage Parameters and Action. The geo-country parameter is required, and we check that off. But let's simplify the parameter name to just country. We'll enter a corresponding prompt. What country do you live in? And click Close. Under the Fulfillment section, click Enable Fulfillment. Turn on Enable Webhook Call for this intent, and click Save. Now let's look at some simple JavaScript. Still on the DialogFlow console, click on Fulfillment on the left and enable the inline editor. You'll need to enter the following code. We'll use strict mode and import the DialogFlow module. We'll also import Firebase functions package, and we need an instance of DialogFlow named app. So for this intent, resident country, we get two arguments returned back, a conversation object with properties about the conversation with the user, and a parameters object, in this case, the country name from the user's response. We'll count the number of letters in the country name and assign it to the variable letter count. Then we'll close the conversation with a message to the user with the letter count and the country name. With a bit more coding, we can account for different scenarios and user inputs here. Now, click Deploy. This may take a few minutes. We'll wait a few moments until it says Last Deployed. Now we can go back to the actions on Google Console and use the simulator to test our app. Click on Simulator and let's talk to the test app.
Okay, let's get the test version of my test app.
Welcome. What country do you live in?
I live in Indonesia.
Nice. There are 9 letters in Indonesia.
Talk to my test app.
Alright, getting the test version of my test app.
Welcome. What country do you live in?
I work in Kenya.
Nice. There are 5 letters in Kenya. Welcome. What country do you live in?
Canada.
Nice. There are 6 letters in Canada.
It seems to be working well now. What's most impressive about this demonstration is the power of Google Assistant to interact and actually understand what users say. The actions you create can be made available to users all around the world. I encourage you to experiment with other intents and interactions, and follow this channel for more videos and upcoming demonstrations. Check the description for info and links, and give me some thoughts in the comments below.